To own a boat, to own a ski jet, to own a lake, to own land, to own a mountain, to own a car, to own my own. What is my own? There's a marvelous reading this morning from Leviticus on the Jubilee year. What do you own? How much land do you own? How many trees do you own? What business do you own? Yesterday I read a brief article on a wonderful person who's creating a new non-profit. You won't believe it. It's a non-profit bank. Well, it's a bank to serve a cause. And this guy is a man without limbs, no arms, no hands. And he was born that way with genetic defect. But his parents gave him so much courage, so much sense of meaning and purpose and mission, and encouraged him to develop what he could do well, and there were numbers. And when he was 19 years of age, he already had saved up enough investments to buy his own home as an investment. I really want to catch that sun, but if I go here, I think we'll still catch it, because I'm going to have a lot of high vegetation here. I'll just hold this above my head. I hope you can still hear me. Now we have a little gap here. So he did it as an investment. So that's another thing as well. A place to put material things so they can continue to grow. And people invest some things for their children, for their grandchildren. So it's not about them owning. This is not the thirst. This is not the passion. The passion is to serve. And that's amazing. Oh, their sun is coming out right now, and we're going to catch this, because it's really, 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 really beautiful. Just love this moment of color. I don't know if we can catch it here. Let's move a little bit further. There we are. There we are. Just lovely, absolutely gorgeous. There's a little bird up here in the tree. Doesn't sow or harvest, and yet has its food. But this guy was sowing and harvesting, and he obviously built up incredible business acumen. And now he's dedicating a new foundation, a new bank, just to do good, to protect and serve life. Isn't that amazing? You know, there's so many good things in the world. Now, we started out saying, what do you own? Do you own land? Do you own a field? Do you own a farm? Do you own a business? Do you own a house? Do you own a car? Do you own a bicycle? Do you own your clothes? What do you own? And then what can you control of what you own? Let's say you have built this beautiful house according to your measurements, according to your design, according to your art taste, in the location, in the place in nature, in the place close to communications. So you can get to different places very quickly from where you live. And then a huge flood comes and washes away the entire side of the mountain where you built your house. And we just see that in the television all the time. Or a fire starts near your house in this beautiful forest area where you had this dream location and you invested so much, worked so hard, saved so much, and it's wiped away. And then let's read the Jubilee. The Jubilee, the original Jubilee, the big one, the first one. It comes from calling out on the ram's horn, a call which was for a celebration, so it became associated with celebration. And then we have Jubilees calling out for great celebrations, wedding anniversaries, silver anniversary, we call them Jubilees. Jubilee of ordination, Jubilee of so many things. So the sun is reflecting on the building up there. Let's see if we can catch that. The Jubilee. The Jubilee, people gave back their land to the original owners. And there's a very nice explanation about this, because it says you're actually not selling the land, you're selling the amount of crops you can get from the land. Because the land is not yours, it belongs to the Lord. The land belongs to the Lord. The land belongs to the Lord. So what do you own? So, you know, there's a guy that does the administration here at Magdala. And very responsible, works hard, all the rest of it. But he doesn't own it. You know, administration in companies, administration in organizations. We're administrators. We're entrusted with the responsibility to make sure the property is properly taken care of, the duties are covered, if there are taxes to pay, if there are repairs to be done, wages to be paid. Administrator. So we're administrators of property. And if we look around us, you know, we're here at the Sea of Galilee. And Jesus said to the disciples, leave what you have, come follow me. Sell what you have, give it to the poor, and come follow me. And I have to tell you a personal experience. In 1974, my call to religious life became very clear. And I left everything. In a way, I could have inherited the farm at home. My siblings would have found other professions and trades and so on. It ended up that my brother inherited the farm from our parents. And I left everything. And I don't own a thing to this day. I don't own anything. Don't have a bank account, don't have a credit card, don't have my own money. I have the clothes I wear. I receive the food I need to have each day. And the other things that we need for life, basic things in order to be able to spend a life serving. And look what the Lord has given me, you know. I have known so many farmers. I've seen their stock, their cattle. Yesterday we had them on the video. I haven't been on the moon yet. It's up there someplace. Come on, moon. Oh, there you are. Now you can see the moon up there. To the left or center in the middle of the screen. You know, you could dream owning everything. You remember the Little Prince? And the guy named the stars so he felt he owned them. In a certain sense he did, but what does ownership mean? And how much enslavement to ownership? First of all, how many headaches and responsibilities in looking after property? Especially in a time of flood, in a time of fire, in a time of catastrophe, or just with aging, it depreciates. Where's our heart? There your treasure will be. Because your heart is going for your treasure. That's what you love. What is your treasure? Is it material goods? And how long are you going to keep them? How long are you going to be in possession of them? You know, somebody invested in a certain stock, and then the economy changed and it became worthless. Literally worthless. The big bubbles, you remember the bubble crash? They're around 1999, 2000, 2001. There were a number of crashes since then in different sectors of the economy. This is amazing, the culture of the Jubilee year. To realize that I'm an administrator. And this applies actually to all the different aspects of creation. For example, pleasure, all the pleasures. Let's just take food. A nice salad, an orange, a peach, an apple, a banana. They are so good. But we can't live just for that. It's too little. But some people work so hard to be able to indulge in pleasures. And they confuse pleasure with happiness. And then we have good old Herod Antipas, who made Tiberias capital of Galilee. And he had a problem in indulging in pleasures and certain companies that weren't licit. John the Baptist calls him out. And today we read how he had John the Baptist beheaded. So even property ownership can lead to that. It can lead to situations where we actually rob, kill, destroy, plunder, steal. You know, they're all different variations. Steal can be very slick nowadays. Oh, by the way, you can keep your eyes open always, because that can happen. You know, Father Juan Solana, our director and founder of Magdalene here, somebody did a fake copy of his Facebook page. I meant to tell you that yesterday or the day before. And they were asking for money, and he never asked for money on the Facebook page. And thanks be to God, a couple of people alerted him immediately and then checked a couple of things and then reported it, and they reported it to Facebook, and that page was immediately deactivated. But people steal in very slick ways nowadays as well. And anybody who gave donations to that page, they're gone. And because it's so anonymous, it's very hard to track that down. And who did the stealing? This is really crazy. So it's a huge theme. We could talk for weeks probably. Maybe we should do a series on it. You can tell me if you'd like to do that. On the issue of property, ownership, happiness, security. And it's not like there's no property, because God said to Abraham, I will give you all this land. But why? Why did he give him all this land? Why? Was it just for the land? It's a huge plan of salvation to be light to the nations. How much blood is spilt over keeping property? There's a huge balance needed in all of this. Do not steal. Do not rob. Do not covet. So in a certain sense then, God does want us to respect what others have. We can't go and steal and plunder. They've worked hard. They've built a home for their children and so on. And yet on the other hand, we need to find the great balance and equilibrium of holding property, but it's knowing its purpose to glorify God and to serve others. And also obviously it's given to us to have the food we need, the resources we need to live. So people, these were just some thoughts this morning about our crazy world. You know, all the best movies, like highest rated movies, ranking movies, have so much power, wealth, politics, corruption. And even us religious people who make a vow of poverty, we can be corrupted. And it happens also so slowly and so slickly. And it has happened throughout the history of the church. Okay, I make a vow of poverty, so I don't own anything. But little by little, I could still indulge in pleasures and want more. And we saw the problem with one of the apostles in charge of the treasury. And then that became the center of his life. He was called for something else. And this is amazing reality of human life. There's a great need for depth, and the reading today of the Jubilee calls us back to the core principle. Hey guys, you don't own anything. This belongs to the Lord. You work the soil. You develop the harvest. You provide for the needy. You let the widow reap at the margins of the field. Don't exploit, protect, care for creation, for the gifts entrusted to us. We're administrators. Thank you so much. I see some more people joined us this morning. You're welcome. Delighted to have you. And we have a little stroll every morning, sunrise stroll and chat. And look forward to you coming back and seeing again here the Sea of Galilee in its beauty at sunrise every day, and pondering the other book that God wrote. You know, the first book God wrote is nature, and the second book is His Word, which can stir us up sometimes. It can stir the pot, can shake us up. That's a good thing. That's a blessing. We need to be shaken up sometimes, stirred up. People, thank you for joining. We'll say goodbye. Just give me a second here to fix this little switch. It's great to have you this morning. Thank you all of you for joining. Spread the word around. God bless you.